Good day, everyone. Today we will be presenting about a Filipino recreational game, Buntot ng Dragon or Dragon Tale, a fun rendition of Team Tag. Simulan na ang laro. This report will include the following: the brief meaning and history of Dragon Tale, the difference from similar games, the game materials and setup, how to play and win the game, values that can be obtained from the game, and finally, the demonstration with some explanation.
Brief meaning of the game. Dragon Tag is just one of the dozens of versions of tag or chase kids can play. Like most tag games, it's lots of fun for a group, requires little equipment, and will really get players running and moving. It fits perfectly with a knights and princesses party theme or a straight-up dragons theme. However, it can be adapted to other themes or just played spontaneously anytime you have a group of kids gathered. It even encourages kids to work together as a team. The object of the game is for each dragon to move as one unit towards another dragon. They will try to catch the opposing team's handkerchief, and they must do this without breaking the chain of people. History of the game. Chinese youngsters and American college students both like playing this game. It has been played in China for a long time, and practically all Chinese youngsters are familiar with it. This is basically another version of tag where China has incorporated one of their symbolic animals, the dragon. The game spread to the Philippines through the first Chinese immigrants and traveling merchants who sailed for business and trade. Between the 10th and 16th centuries, and before the Spanish colonization, Chinese traders sailed to the Philippines. They brought porcelain and silk in exchange for beeswax and deer horn and trepang or sea slug. The trade with China was the beginning of a major influence and contribution within the Filipino culture. Within these trades or exchanges, it was more than the items that are being passed on. We've adapted some of their culinary techniques, family structuring, and even games played in between work when the traders want to relax.
Moving on to the difference from similar games, other names for Dragon Tale or Buntot ng Dragon are Dragon Tag and Catch a Dragon's Tail. The rules between the Philippine version and the American version are similar, with people forming teams, trying to catch the tails of the other. For the American version, however, there are a few variations to this game: the sock tag variation and the giant dragon variation. For the sock tag variation, every player gets a tail, and they all play both offense and defense, trying to grab each other's tails while also protecting their own. As with Dragon Tag, instead of having players sit out once their tails have been grabbed, let them perform a fitness activity instead. When that's complete, they can rejoin the game and try to grab themselves a new tail from another player. Play until one player has all the tails or for a predetermined time period. For the Giant Dragon variation, it is helpful if you have a slightly smaller group of players. All you have to do is to make just one dragon. The player at the head of the line tries to steal the tail, while the player in the middle tries to stop them without breaking the chain. This is similar to the Chinese version. In the Chinese version, there are still teams, with the player holding the waist of the one in front of them to form a chain or a dragon. However, the dragon is divided into three: the head, the body, and the tail. The first in line is the head, the last in line is the tail, and the rest in between are the body. Instead of one dragon trying to capture the tail of the other dragon, the dragon is supposed to capture their own tail, with the body trying to stop them. After the head captures the tail, the dragon stops and the head moves to the back to become the tail. Then, the second in line becomes the head. The game keeps going until everyone's had a turn being the head and the tail. There should also be traditional Chinese music playing while the game goes on.
So game materials and setup. So the materials for this game is, usually, the players are 4 to 8 per group, and there are usually 2 groups, but the more, the merrier. And 1 scarf or bandana per team, that's all. Next, setup. First, you need an area with a lot of space. You need to form teams of 4 to 8 people. Make human chains by having team members hold on to each other's waists or link elbows. You are going to form like a train. Second, each team of connected people is now a dragon with a head and a tail. Place a scarf or bandana hanging in the back pocket of the last person in the chain or the tail of the dragon. And third, People who are part of a human chain cannot let go and get separated.
Now, we will discuss how to play a game of Dragon's Tail. First, split players into groups of 4 or more and have them form chains by linking their arms or grabbing each other's waists or shoulders. Next, give the last player in each chain a scarf, bandana, or long sack to act as a tail. Have those players tuck the tails into the back of their waistbands. Each chain is now a dragon. Third, start by having the dragons scatter across a playing area. When the host or leader shouts go, the dragons chase each other, trying to grab the opponent's tails, while also protecting their own tails. Only the first player in the dragon chain can grab another team's tail. Each team's chain must stay unbroken. Decide in advance what the consequences will be if a chain comes loose. You could have the whole team perform a fitness activity such as 5 squats or running a quick lap around the playing area, and or require the chain to reform with a different player at the head and the tail. People who are part of a human chain cannot let go and get separated. If any part of a team's dragon gets separated, the detached tail cannot move. Only the head and the people attached to the head can move. You cannot go after another team until you have reconnected your body together. Lastly, play until one player has all the tails for a predetermined time period. So, how does a team win the game of Dragon's Tail? After a time period, the team or a dragon who caught the tail of the opponent team or caught all of the tails if played with more than 2 teams wins the game.
The values you learn while playing Buntot ng Dragon. Love for culture. Playing Buntot ng Dragon helps us give appreciation for our own culture. Just like many Filipino games, this game is played usually outside in the neighborhood streets. Playing this game helps us reminisce on our childhood as children in a Filipino neighborhood. Teamwork. Playing Buntot ng Dragon requires the players to have good teamwork. Having good teamwork means to have good synergy and cooperation between all the players within the team while doing the objective to win the game. Sportsmanship. Sportsmanship means to have fair and generous behavior to your teammates and opponents while playing Buntot ng Dragon. Sportsmanship ensures that even after winning or losing, the players still keep respect between each other.
I'm a lit kid beat.
Split the players evenly among groups or dragons. In this particular video, 2 teams are playing the game. It is recommended to have at least 4 members in a dragon. The dragon must form a chain, either by having players link arms or grab each other's shoulders or waists. This chain must not break. If there are only 2 groups, the teams must line up facing each other. However, if there are 3 or more groups competing, they must be scattered across a large playing area. This is Team 1. This is Team 2. When the go signal is given, teams must chase and get the tails of the opposing dragons. Tail is a handkerchief, a long sock, a scarf, or a bandana inserted in the waistband or the pocket of the last player. The hanging handkerchief is the tail of Team 1. dragon has all the tails, or until a predetermined time limit. If the game reaches a set time limit, the dragon who can get the most tails wins. If there are only 2 teams playing, the dragon who can get the tail of the other wins.
That is it for our presentation today. We hope that you have learned something about the Pinoy recreational game, Dragon Tale. Thank you for listening.